Hey everybody, welcome back to my channel. My name is Jillian and I have an 11-and-a-half-month-old daughter named Lucy. She is going to be 1 year old in like 2 weeks, I think, which is hard to believe, but that is exactly why I wanted to make this video, because I wanted to make a video about baby products that I actually used in the first year. The newborn phase, it comes and goes so quickly, and I feel like there's things that I registered for that I used for like 2 weeks and that was it. So if you are a pregnant mama and want some ideas of things that you might actually need for the first year, then keep watching this video, and here are some great options. Obviously, you don't need all of these things. These are just my recommendations, things that I really liked over this past year and that I feel like I got a lot of use out of. Here we go, let's get started. So I wrote down a list in my phone about the products that I used, and I will hold up some of the products, others I'll just insert pictures. So the very first one that I put on there, I actually did not register for, but we use this every single night ever since we bought it, and it is the Owlette baby monitor, and it's not the one with the video, but it's just the foot monitor. And I love this thing. It's what it is. It's just a device that wraps around the baby's foot, and I'll insert like a picture or something around here. We have the Smart Sock version 3. There's an app on your phone and it monitors their heart rate and their oxygen levels. And if it drops below a threshold, then the alarm goes off. The alarm also goes off if it can't get a reading soon enough. So it monitors the baby's breathing and heart rate all night long. And I was somebody who, I didn't realize that after I brought Lucy home from the hospital that I would have a hard time sleeping if she did fall asleep, just because I was so worried about her. I had a little bit of postpartum anxiety, and I just feel like this helped me so much. I know this could be a controversial recommendation, because if you're, you know, someone who thinks about EMFs and that kind of like frequency, then you might not want to go with something like this. But the way I look at it is, we have our cell phones with us all the time too. I'm not saying let's add more frequency, but I'm also gonna say that it was worth it for me, and I will use it again for my next baby. So I highly recommend. And if you don't know what EMF waves are, then you probably don't care that much. But if you do, it is something to take into consideration. But for me, the pros of her wearing it outweighed the cons, and I highly recommend the Owlette monitor. Highly recommend it. The next thing on my baby must-haves list, this definitely goes more towards the newborn stage, but it is Stretchy Swaddles. You guys, I was the worst swaddler. I feel like Lucy would break out of swaddles all the time. I didn't really like the Velcro ones. I just feel like they didn't get her snug enough, but I really loved any kind of stretchy swaddle. So what I mean is like the swaddles that are that like bamboo material. They can be a little bit thinner, and they're just easier to like stretch and wrap them with. I do want to mention one other brand of swaddles, and I actually have one right here. And it is these Lulu Lollipop? I think it's called Lulu Lollipop is the brand. These swaddles. The reason why I recommend this, she still sleeps with this as like a blanket more so than a swaddle that I wrap her in, but it is so soft. My next must-have is a Hatch baby sound machine. At first, I thought this was the most ridiculous product, because I'm like, we really need a sound machine for the baby. I mean, what's the point? So the Hatch sound machine, I have it right behind me in her room. Let me see if I can like pick it up real quick. Here she is in all her glory. We use it every single night when she's sleeping in her room, but when she was a newborn, I kept it on my nightstand, and you can just tap the top of it and it turns on. There's different settings that you can tap through, and it's just like a really soft light. I always used it on the red light setting, because red light is supposed to not disrupt like your sleep as much as a blue light does, or a bright like white light. I think that the sound machine part gets really important when they get more like 4 months and up, when outside noise starts to bother them when they're sleeping, and that wakes them up. You know, if she's taking a nap in Peter's home or we have people over, I can turn the sound machine up a little bit and it really drowns out the noise that's outside. You also have an app on your phone that goes with it, so you can adjust, turn it on and off within the app in your phone and customize the settings for it. So definitely love the Hatch sound machine. Next up, I have 2 teething items here, and this is the first one I'm going to talk about, and this is the newbie teether. I actually ended up buying 2 of these. I can't find the other one, which is why I bought multiple of them, but this is just a like silicone teether. The reason why I like this is because she was able to hold onto this teether when she was pretty small, probably like around 4 months old. She could really figure out how to get this in her mouth. I put this one in the freezer because I found that it wouldn't freeze and become hard, so it could get really nice and cold. So recommend these newbie ones. And then it's running away from me. This is another teether that I recommend, and it's the Dr. Brown's mesh teether, and it's not actually mesh like the traditional mesh teethers used to be, but instead it's a soft silicone, and I don't know if you can see, it has little holes in it. I love these, not just when she was teething, but when she was first starting to eat solids. I would put frozen fruit and stuff in there, and she could just sit and gnaw on it. During the summertime, it was almost like having a frozen fruit popsicle, and she really enjoyed it because she can get the fruit out of it without getting chunks of fruit, and it felt good on her teeth. These 2 teethers were our favorites. While we're on the subject of food and eating and all that good stuff, this is kind of an honorable mention. These are the Komotomo bottles, and the reason I want to give these more of an honorable mention is Lucy never really drank much from a bottle, but if she did, this was the only bottle that she would take, and she was exclusively breastfed, so I feel like this one she liked the most. And my sister-in-law switched to the same bottle, and then my other friend who had a baby at almost the exact same time, this is the same bottle that she used. So if you are, especially if you breastfeed and bottle feed, I feel like these are a good option. And again, on the subject of eating and drinking, this is a Nuck sippy cup. I tried a different kind of sippy cup before, and they have to really like suck at it, and I feel like this one, she learned to like hold it and tilt it back. So I do recommend these. I bought several of them now because she uses them every single day. And 2 more things on the subject of food and eating would be a food processor. Now, you might think, a food processor? I've never heard anybody get a food processor in their registry or get one for their baby shower or anything like that, but I just feel like I use the food processor so much to make her homemade purees, and it was super simple. I will link the one that I use to make all of her foods. It's worth it, and it's worth it because you can use it after. And then also her bibs. So I like the silicone bibs that have the little like bucket in them, and I'll insert a picture here of that. Those bibs, they just catch everything. Babies are such messy eaters that half of it ends up on their lap all the time, and I just feel like it helps to prevent it, and she's learning now to kind of scoop out what's in the bib. Okay, so moving on, I want to talk about an item of clothing. I highly recommend getting zipper pajamas and bamboo zipper pajamas. And here's one pair that she has. These are Posh Peanut ones. These ones are pretty cute. They have like the little ruffle on the bum. The zipper bamboo pajamas are so nice because the bamboo material is really soft on their sensitive skin. They are just comfy. You have to have that zipper, especially if you have one that zips up from the bottom for diaper changes. So I have a Posh Peanut one. This one has food all over it apparently, but this one is from Kite Baby. See, they're like stretchy. One more pajama I want to mention, and this is again maybe more like an honor honorable mention is the pajamas from Target, the Cloud Island brand pajamas. They are thicker, they're not bamboo, but they do have the double zipper, and I feel like they were the easiest to get her in and out of. And not to mention, those ones are more affordable than a lot of the bamboo ones that you find as well. One thing that we used a lot when she was younger was a play swing. I think we mostly used it while we were eating dinner. Like, let's say she fell asleep, we could put her in the play swing and eat dinner while we're still, you know, supervising her, and it would just swing gently back and forth. Another baby kind of play item that we used all of the time when she was a small baby before she started crawling was a play mat, and I will link the one that we had. I love the one that we had too because it had just that black and white contrasting color, and it wasn't overly cheesy colors, I guess you could say. But the black and white contrast when they're babies, they really like that and they see that more quickly than other colors. I also want to mention that a baby monitor is a must-have. The only hang up I have with ours, I love how it works and it's very simple to use, but I have some issues with our Wi-Fi disconnecting, and I swear it happens always in the middle of the night, and when the Wi-Fi disconnects from it, it makes this annoying beeping sound, and obviously then you can't see or hear the baby. So that's my only hang up with it, and I don't know if it's the monitor or if it's my Wi-Fi that's doing it. I have a suspicion it's more my Wi-Fi that does it than the monitor, but as far as the monitor that we have goes, I do really like it and I use it every night with her. Another thing that I want to talk about that I feel like is so important, such a must-have, especially for me at least, was a baby wrap or a baby carrier. If you have a baby who's really fussy, who wants to just be with you all the time, let me just say that's probably really normal, to be honest. These baby wraps are lifesavers. So the first ones I have two different colors, are these Soli baby wraps. I use these a lot when she was a newborn, all the way until she's probably like 6 months old or so, 5 months old. And I really like them because you can wrap them really close to you. You can tuck their head in. I know they seem maybe a little bit overwhelming because they are a wrap that you have to wrap around your body, but honestly, if you can look up just one YouTube tutorial on it from the Soli Baby company, that's all you need. It's not that hard to do, and once I did it a couple times, I sort of memorized it and I didn't have to look it up again, and I could get her to fall asleep in it and she loved it. Another baby carrier that I really loved, and I had never seen anyone talk about this carrier, and it is the Boppy baby carrier. And the reason why this carrier is so great is because you can wear the baby facing you. So when they're facing you, you can put this little piece up here to kind of help support the back of their neck a little bit. And it almost is like a cross between a more structured carrier and a softer wrap carrier, because as you can see, it's very, very stretchy, but to put it on, it is so simple. I'm actually going to show you real quick. It looks like this. Flip it around your waist and pull it over like this, and then you just crisscross the back and just swap it around. And you know, obviously you have the baby in here already. I use this more when she was a little bit bigger, probably like 5 months and up, and they can also face out, so they can face in and they can face out in it as well, whereas the Soli wraps, they can only face you, and it's really easy to get them in, especially by yourself. So those would be my favorite wraps. The last thing that I want to mention as far as actual baby items, and let me tell you, this little beauty here does not go last because she's not worthy of going first. She just ended up being the last one I mentioned, and I'm not gonna hold it up because it looks a little grungy these days, but it is the Nose Frida baby nose booger sucker deal. And it sounds absolutely disgusting, but I promise you, you will use this thing. This is also something that I didn't register for because I was like, you know, like sucking the boogers out. It just doesn't sound good. But when you're in a bind, I promise you, you will use it. Get yourself one of those. Thank me later because it's a game changer. The last physical thing that I can actually show you here is a book. I don't even know if I want to say the title of the book, but I will list it in the description. It is the Plan book. I feel like I have to be very careful about like what I say about this book, just with the way that things are going in the world right now, and apparently what we can and can't talk about. This book is not anti this. It's more informational. It talks about things like as far as studies and facts and just things that are good to know. So if you just have questions about the pokes that your baby is going to be getting after they are born, and even the ones that they tell you to get when you're pregnant, this book has all the information about it. And I feel like it helped me so much make some decisions and make decisions that I felt empowered with because I had the knowledge behind me. So I don't know, maybe this is controversial, maybe this is not. I just wanted to be informed. I am pro information, not anti anything. What I'm gonna wrap this video up with, it's not a baby product and it's not a book or anything like that, but these are actually Instagram accounts, believe it or not, that helped me in the first year. And in this day and age, of course, there's Instagram accounts out there that will help you. The information that they provide for free is invaluable, and they also, most of them have like courses that you can purchase too, but just their free information is so incredibly helpful. The first one is mamastefit, and I'll put their handles on the screen and in the description box. Also, mamastefit, I believe they are both birth doulas, and I also believe that they're sisters, if I'm not mistaken. They have a Instagram account and they do Q&As on Sundays. They have tons of information about all things pregnancy related, labor related, postpartum related, just everything that you would want to know. And I learned so much from them. I would love to do a birth story. I loved my birth with Lucy. I had a very positive birth experience, and I genuinely believe it's because I educated myself on the birthing and labor process, and a part of that was just through their Instagram. That's how much invaluable information they have. Another kind of like health related Instagram would be drelanaroumell, and again, tons of information about your kids' health and things in the first year, things that are normal, things about fevers and what to do, different remedies. I believe that Western medicine has a place, and I also believe that healing naturally has a place too, and when we can use those two things together, that is like the perfect combination. So I love to have more and more knowledge about like homeopathic remedies for kids and things that aren't just giving them antibiotics for every single thing. So I love her. She also shares a lot of like her meals and what she makes for her kids and for herself, her supplements. She also has protocols and information about different pokes and things like I mentioned that book had. Yeah, I love her. I've like written her myself a couple times too, again, just with questions about things, and she's always steered me in the right direction. So amazing. Definitely give her a follow. I have 2 more Instagram accounts to mention, and one is about baby sleep. I can remember being up and scrolling through my Instagram and finding these accounts about different sleep trainers telling me what I needed to do and what I was doing wrong, and all of these things that I had to do to fix my baby's sleep because apparently her sleep was broken. And when I came across this Instagram account, her name is Rachel, her account is heysleepybaby, I finally felt like, wow, I'm not doing anything wrong, am I? This is normal, and there's other people out there whose kids wake up at night. It's not necessarily my fault, and I'm okay, and my baby's okay, and nothing's broken. And I just really appreciate the things that she puts out there as far as baby sleep. heysleepybaby is a great option to follow for baby sleep, especially if you don't plan on sleep training or if you end up deciding not to sleep train. And the last Instagram account that I want to mention is called raisedgood. And the reason why I really love this Instagram account is everything that they post is just so beautiful and so relatable. And so if you just want something to feel good and to read, and it might make you cry a couple times too, like those good tears, Raised Good is another one. Okay, you guys, that is going to wrap up my first year baby essentials, my first year baby must-have video. I hope you guys like this video. Again, like, I really use these products. I'm not just saying that. I have them all linked in the description box below, or at least listed out. I will see you guys next time. Thank you for watching. Bye.